Once upon a time, there was an easel painter. He was a good painter and made a modest living for his wife and himself. All was well except for one thing. The painter didn't want to be a painter. He wanted to be a shoemaker.
I am drudging my way through life. I want to do something creative.
Such as?
Who are you?
We're elves, obviously. We always considered painting creative.
You call that creative, elves? I'll tell you creative. Making shoes, that's creative. Something for the feet. Something that lives. Something to last throughout eternity. Shoes that sing.
You mean you want to go down in history like Herman Cappuccino?
Herman Cappuccino?
Herman Cappuccino, just the greatest little shoemaker that ever lived.
When Hannibal crossed the Alps, whose shoes do you think he was wearing?
Herman's?
Herman Cappuccino.
Ooh! Tell me, elf, how could I be a famous shoemaker like Herman Cappuccino?
You gotta suffer. You gotta spend time on the left bank in Paris.
Study. Visit the shoe stores.
And all true shoemakers gotta suffer.
And so, that night, the painter told his wife of his plan to become a shoemaker. His wife said,
"Shoemakers are not made, they are born. Why don't you forget it and go back to something sensible like painting?"
9. Even 10. Anybody can paint. I want to sit in cafes, discuss shoe exhibitions, make shoes in a garret, and above all, suffer.
So the painter left for Paris, leaving his wife to shift for herself. He entered the famous school, the Beaux Chasseurs, and spent months working from models. Then he made 15th century shoes, 16th century shoes, 17th century shoes, 18th century shoes. He made rabbit shoes, snake shoes, and kangaroo shoes. He even made high button shoes, low button shoes, even horseshoes. He made walking shoes, running shoes, sneaky shoes, squeaky shoes, but alas, he made no singing shoes.
If only I could make a shoe that sings of spring, of love. How could I make a shoe with a soul?
You gotta travel. Absorb different countries' culture.
Yes, suffer.
Not suffer, travel. Get with it, will you?
Yeah, that's it, travel.
So the painter went to Italy, Switzerland, Holland, and he made Italian shoes, Swiss shoes, Dutch shoes. But alas, he made no singing shoes. Then, one night, after he returned to Paris, he heard the most beautiful music. He followed the lovely sound, and there, in a bundle of rags, was a singing shoe.
That is truly a shoe with a soul.
What? I hope to tell you it's got a soul.
I must have that shoe.
Now, wait.
A fine way to act.
I just wanted to know where he bought them.
We could have told you that. He bought them in Elvesville.
Elvesville? Why, that's my hometown. What am I doing suffering around Europe when I could be home learning to make shoes that sing?
So the painter left for the town from whence he had come, Elvesville. He found that everyone in Elvesville was wearing the same exquisite shoes that he had found in the bundle of rags.
Where did you buy those exquisite shoes?
2311 South Budlong. You turn left at the
You
next...
don't have to tell me. That's my house.
And sure enough, when the painter got home, he found the walls of his cottage lined with exquisite shoes, all singing merrily away. And who did he find sitting behind the cobbler's bench but his wife?
Why didn't you tell me you made exquisite singing shoes?
You never asked me.
So, From that day on, the painter went back to his easel. Eventually, it happened that his paintings started selling like hotcakes, and he became a very famous painter indeed, and his paintings hung in all the famous museums in Europe. But he never did become a shoemaker, and he had to be content with just being a very wealthy man.
Which just goes to prove everybody can't be a Herman Cappuccino.
Yeah. Whatever that means.